Da-da-da-da. Alrighty, let's see, YouTube, how we doing? Okay, good afternoon, folks, and welcome to Smudcast number 458. Everyone is wrong, capital W-R-O-N-G, about Netflix's Cowboy Bebop. Now, I have yet to see this wonderful show. I don't know if I'm ever going to, but I eventually will have to. I think it's part of my psyche is telling me.
LiteratureDevil says you should not.
I know, but
that's the Bebop alarm.
But that's just LiteratureDevil egging me on. Whenever he tells me not to do something, I'm like, oh, come on, it can't be that bad. So
it will forever scar you.
Yes, it already has, but in a good way. So I don't mind if I get another Bebop experience that's less than good or even worse. It's okay because nothing can compare to the classics, so that's fine by me. Anyway, this video that we're watching now came out November of last year by a channel called 922 Films /$5 Film School. And this has only gotten 7,000 views. So a very small channel, has about 6.23K subs. And the video after this, so a month later, he's saying, I'm quitting filmmaking. So apparently this is a channel about making films and making them for YouTube. So he wants to make...
I don't know what kind of education you can get for $5.
Well, that's just the name of the company. So anyway, yeah, if you actually look at the description, it's a brainchild of two brothers and sisters, two other dudes. Basically, we intend on making cinema quality feature films and releasing them for free on YouTube. I don't know what his standard for cinema quality is, but good luck. Good for you. That's a high standard to follow. So,
yep.
I've seen some shit in cinema.
Yeah, there's some bad stuff. There's some good stuff. I don't know what he means by quality, meaning the film grain, the quality of the camera, the sound, the production in general. A lot to say about Hollywood or movies in general. Say you're up to snuff, but hey, high standards, good for you, sir. So reading the description,
here the local cinema, they run gay porn on the cinema. So
well, I don't think that's permissible in YouTube standards, but you never know.
Well, he wants to make cinema stuff, but maybe he just wants to make gay porn.
Yeah, so I think what he's trying to do is hit the middle of the road, because if you look at the likes and dislikes, look at the description, they're all sort of just 50-50. His reaction in the description was meh, so there's good and bad, which is, I guess, is a fair assessment if you want to take a generic sort of, I'm not going to go one side or the other. There's things I liked and things I disliked equally. I find that hard to believe, but I don't know. This guy is a filmmaker, so he has different takes. So good for him. Anyway, it is a 10-minute video, so it shouldn't take too long. All right. Everyone's in the watch together. We're good to go.
Yeah.
We just this wonderful thumbnail, whatever this is. I'm being a little hyperbolic. Everyone's opinion is valid. Smiley face. Like, oh, yeah, sure.
No, it's not.
Everyone's opinion is valid. Okay. Anyway, Hitler. What's your opinion on the Jews?
What about Hitler's opinion?
Well, ask anyone anything about COVID these days, and you're just going to roll your eyes at the back of your head. You're like, oh, thanks. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. We're good.
Hooray! about communism.
So, controlling the masses. What do you think about? Yeah. All right.
Everyone's opinion is okay. Is permissible. Is okay as long as it is like mine.
Everyone is entitled to my opinion.
Yeah.
All right. 10 minutes.
That's better put.
Let's go. Bebop is my favorite anime of mine, so hopefully he'll do a good job assessing this thing. Let's go.
Everyone is wrong about Netflix's Cowboy Bebop. This probably sounds incredibly pretentious, and you're expecting me to say that Cowboy Bebop from Netflix is one of the best shows of the year, and that
it sounds incredibly dumb.
Said it was terrible.
It's not pretentious. It sounds incredibly dumb.
Well, he's a film guy, so I assume he'd be
Hey,
pretentious.
Hawk, look, it's Henry Cavill.
Hooray!
Oh, boy.
I wish.
Even if Cavill was playing the role of Vicious? I don't think it would work.
Oh my god.
It just would not work. It'd be like, this is not Vicious. Why is he acting like a nut bar? What's going on?
I mean, at least he would be able to throw a spike out from the cathedral, but
Yeah, but in the Netflix show, he doesn't do that. He gets shot.
I know.
in the shoulder.
He just lays down like an idiot.
I didn't know bullets could do that to your shoulder. Like, it could propel you through a stained glass window. It's amazing. Bullets these days.
Yeah.
Or in the future.
Recast him with Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, now you're thinking. I like that idea the best. Oh,
Half-Psych.
yes. Holy crap, that'd be... I'd watch the hell out of that. Oh, Tommy Wiseau as Vicious?
Yeah.
Yes.
Holy...
How's your sex life?
That is amazing. Oh, come on. That is genius.
Someone give me a budget.
Now, you know that petition? I signed the petition to not do it, and now I want to sign the other petition to bring it back. Just so long as Tommy Wiseau is Vicious.
Mysteriously, the actor has been changed for the better.
The best. Oh.
Yeah. He did a pretty fucking good Joker.
He did. In fact, he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
My goodness. All right. I'm so excited, but okay. Gotta calm down now. Okay.
It's not actually going to happen.
That's not the perspective I have. If you give me a few minutes of your time, I'm going to explain why I think both sides, positive and negative, are wrong about the show.
Wait. What? They're both.
Of course, that is.
What does that mean?
Is he trying to play the avatar for the Netflix Cowboy?
No.
He wants to give a nuanced response.
Yeah, but that means. If both sides are wrong and they're both good and bad, what the hell are you left with?
No, it's
the void.
What he wants to get at is that it's not all bad and it's not all good.
Yeah, but no one's ever said it's all bad and all good.
You would have to have an extremely strict breakdown of like element A, music, and then you talk about this piece of music, and then you talk about that piece of music, and you keep going down this giant list.
But Hawk, these fake fans, they always keep saying it's all good, it's perfect, it's blah blah blah, and they allege that the other side, where some of us are, therefore must have the polar opposite opinion of theirs and just think that everything is utterly miserable, which is usually not what we say. We do have nuanced opinions. We just say under the line it's bullshit because there's too much bullshit. Because the bullshit's too big.
All right, well...
And thus it's not salvageable.
I think he just worded it silly. He's just trying to say, I agree with some and I disagree with the other side as well. So it's, it's whatever. He cherry picks things. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And give my perspective on it and how I think the show could be better and perhaps does it have a future. So in order for me to get into this, the first thing I need to talk about is my relationship to the original Cowboy Bebop.
My relationship? What do you mean? It's an anime. You watch it. What do you do? Hug it?
He has sex with it.
What the fuck? My relationship with the prequel trilogy in Star Wars. Well, that goes back.
No, Mark. It's not that he has sex with it. He used to watch Cowboy Bebop as his wife was being fucked by another man.
Well, that too.
So. This is going to be a very long video.
There we go. My relationship with an anime. Okay.
Unlike a ton of people, I was pretty big into anime in my teen years, and I never really had any deep connection to Cowboy Bebop.
Oh, okay.
I remember...
Wait a second. You were deep into anime, but never had a deep connection to... Okay. I mean, some people don't get it. That's fine.
Maybe he was just into magical girl stuff.
Yeah, it's possible. That's fair. I won't judge him. That's totally fine.
I love the way that he's my relationship. I didn't really get into it. Well, it's not really a relationship, is it? I mean,
it's like, I went to a steakhouse, ordered a salad. It's all right. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
No, what's the purpose of this section if he dedicated this his relationship with the original while he doesn't even have a strong connection with it at all?
Yeah, it's
Completely against the purpose.
Yeah, it's completely. What? Jesus, just why? Why are you typing? Who are you typing?
I was answering a thing in the chat, and I was trying to be quiet.
Is it push to talk like every key on your keyboard?
Yes.
Yeah,
You just mapped the whole keyboard so in case you're
I just think Wisp uses like the headphones just to type with.
What?
Yeah,
Yes.
it might. It just. It's not that I can just hear it. It's so clear. It's crystal clear. I could probably even with enough training.
Those
I could
those
tell
goddamn
which
German
keys-
keyboards.
I could tell which key she's pressing. I can
Oh, you know more
translate.
than I do because all the keys are blank.
Oh boy.
They're all blank. Why would
All
they be
blank,
blank?
yeah.
Okay.
So that I don't get confused when I use another keyboard layout.
You don't get confused. What?
Never mind. The ways of Wisp are weird and strange to us mere mortals.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's keep going.
It was like one of the big shows that everyone was like, you need to see this show if you like anime. But I put it on, and
Oh, are you one of those hipster anime fans? Oh, this is like, I'll watch it because my friend recommended it, but I wasn't really into it. It wasn't like cool enough for me.
It's just forget.
This is like going to
You know,
the jazz club and going, well, this is not as cool as that other jazz club. It's just really hot, you know.
You know, I would be fine because, like, I do know a lot of people who are into this genre, but they just don't really value Cowboy Bebop above average, and it's fine. But why is it saying he's completely wasting his time?
Yeah.
He could have just like left it as like I thought it was okay.
Yeah, exactly. And they moved on because if you don't have a passionate background relationship, like the word relationship implies, to a freaking cartoon, then who cares? Just say, yeah, it wasn't a big deal for me. Like, okay, great. You are not crazed fanboy. You are just average anime goer, and it didn't affect you in any certain direction. That's fine.
Yeah.
On the other hand, in the end of Evangelion, when Shinji in the hospital,
Oh,
God.
yeah. You know what?
Is that what sparked Kuma culture?
I would expect that from this guy. He'd be like, but FLCL is the ultimate. It's like, oh, okay, fine. We know where you're coming from. Anyway.
I am so glad I'm not into this weeb shit. I just look at all you disgust. I'm like, oh my god. What the fuck
Just
is
watch the
going
series. Just stick to the serious stuff. It's good stuff there.
Yeah, watch
Ignore the kids shit.
Watch the movie. It's only 2.5 hours. It's easy to watch. You don't have to know the rest of the series. It's fun. So.
I don't know. I've been lied to with shows by people I hold close to me.
Really? Oh yeah. Oh.
which one?
Hog, but that is when look. When
What have you done, Bears?
when your girl tells you, "Oh, there's this really awesome show. Let's watch it together." It's usually some relationship intrigue shit.
Wait a second. I don't think The Witcher
It's
is
absolutely boring.
a relationship sort of.
Well, if it's
show.
copying season 8 of Game of Thrones, it is relationship bullshit.
Oh,
Not
no.
sure.
I mean,
Sure.
for a divorce, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you characterize season 8 of Game? I don't even know how to properly
How do
assess
you
that.
characterize it? Yeah, pretty shit.
mess.
It's so boring that you just want to stab your own eyes out.
Like,
but it's just
never
weird.
ending.
Yeah. Anyway, back to this gentleman.
when I got
Right.
through it, I mean, there was a lot of iconic moments, but personally for myself, it wasn't really a show that I connected on any majorly deep level. I remember thinking the music was really good. I remember thinking the beginning and ending of the show was really good, and there were some great moments throughout. But it was never a show that I really felt personally connected to, and
Okay.
it never felt like a show that I felt was like
Go on.
super necessary for me.
Okay, if I'm an art guy or a film guy and I see, black and white shots, I see John Woo inspiration, I see all these other influences by different genres, I might go, wow, that's really well done. I may not be into those genres, but I know them and I can respect them, and I can say, hey, they did a really good job. Now, for him to say the
Yeah.
beginning and ending of the show, which I imagine was the beginning of episode 1 or the beginning of the show or series, and the ending of episode
And the
26 was
No, he meant like the opening intro song and the ending song, probably.
what?
That would be cheap.
He just said the music was good. Then he said the music was also good at the beginning and the ending of a show, not the whole series.
I think it was only talking about the animation and the music.
If he was just talking about the intro and outro, that would be really weak a position. Cowboy Bebop doesn't need to leave a big impact in your life. It's just a really well done story, really well done animation,
Right.
really good music, and it's good to watch.
Like, look at other good shows like Macross Plus. It's a 4-part series. I think they broke it down into 4. I think it was a movie, or depending on how it was released. Great music, Yoko Kanno again. Really great animation. Jet pilots fighting, competition. All kinds of other weird plots in there, but it's entertaining. You'll get the music is cool. It's futuristic. You can relate to it. But lots of great animes like that, like My Neighbor Totoro or Ghibli stuff. Like you'll enjoy it for what it is. You don't have to know about it. You don't have to get into it. It's like, oh yeah, this is great to watch. It's fun. It's cool.
This is the part that already doesn't make sense to me. He says he wants to be in filmmaking or is in filmmaking or something, but he does not see the quality in Cowboy Bebop that you never even heard of. Okay, but to say you don't even want to listen to it or try it out when that is your general field of interest. It's
Yeah, I know.
unbelievable to me.
It's kind of like there's no vanilla in my baking. It's like, really? You don't bake with vanilla? How about lemon or zest or, citrus acid, anything? Like, no, I just stick to chocolate. I'm like, oh, so you're a chocolatier? It's like, well, no, I just do baking. Like, what? Okay. Weird stuff. Anyway, he's not impressing me so much with his background lack of enthusiasm.
Mm-hmm.
As an anime watcher to watch. I was more of a Space Dandy fan.
How do you
he's
go?
gay.
How do you go? What? Wait, okay. I'm not saying Space Dandy's bad because it's another Watanabe, right?
Yes.
But how do you go from Bebop, which does everything, right? Does everything for everyone and works, to Space Dandy, which is goofy and silly?
Because he has an immature mind.
Oh,
He likes to see the flashy things, the goofy things that entertains him, where a lot of movement is happening. That's also why he chose this scene here.
oh yeah.
I have a pretty good idea what kind of person he is now.
Oh,
Space Dandy was pretty much like turned me off because I was expecting it to be like something more serious, and then I saw this and that was enough for me.
yeah. I think
I don't want to watch another goofy show.
the expanding breast scene was like, okay, that's enough for me.
Yeah.
There's an expanded breast scene.
You don't want to know.
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Rough Dog 1000. Thanks for the 2. Hi, Smud. What garbage do we have today? I wouldn't say it's garbage. It's just sort of meh. Like he's not a very good critic. He's trying though. Like he's really saying, all right, let me give a serious look at Bebop, even though I don't care. So I really hope he's being very impartial here, as opposed
I
to.
didn't like Berserk. I'm kind of like a Lucky Star person myself. I gotta please my intellectual mind.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway,
Eva Grace in the chat says he's a contrarian. Can't like the popular thing. The obscure thing is better. Yeah, the irony here is that before Netflix made the show, Cowboy Bebop was the obscure thing.
I would never say a Cowboy Bebop was obscure. Like the genre,
For the
like
West,
what they
yeah,
have
for the
created,
West,
but
for
like
the
it's
West.
fucking everywhere.
Well, Wisp, no. Because even me, a complete utter normie of anime, knew about Cowboy Bebop.
yeah, but if
Everyone knew
You ever heard
about
of Cowboy
Cowboy
Bebop
Bebop, even in the
before
West.
this
Right.
bullshit?
But even if it
Yeah.
wasn't Bebop, the next step for knowing Watanabe is Samurai Champloo. Like it's the next popular thing.
Yeah. The thing is,
Yeah, that is way more goofy.
yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, there's some since I'm not really big in anime, I mean, if I know about something in anime, it must mean it's broken into the, other spheres of stuff.
Because like
You know
when
what I
you
mean?
think about anime in like a general term, as like what even like normies understand, they would think about Akira,
Right.
Ghost in the Shell,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Cowboy
Yeah.
Bebop.
Yeah.
Because those are, Cowboy Bebop is serious enough that like even like non-anime enjoyers can watch it because it has a
Yeah.
mostly serious tone.
Yeah.
Same with
Yeah.
those other two movie examples.
Yeah. Anyway, that's okay. He has his own tastes. We'll accept that from where he's coming from. That's fine. Okay.
Yeah. Everyone has their own tastes, and everyone's wrong with their tastes.
Okay.
Of course.
You know what that is? It's the same creator made a show that's kind of in the vein of Cowboy Bebop, but it's a little bit more goofy and a little bit more out there.
A little.
And so I feel like that was more a fit for me personally.
I like this animation of this retard dancing around with his partner. It's like, that's great. Yeah. It's just a little.
It was like entirely rotoscoped as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It just, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He likes people dancing. Okay. Good enough.
So I
Okay.
come at the situation a little bit differently than most people because I think the majority of people who are excited about the show or nervous about the show were people who are big fans
Nervous?
of the original show. So I don't really have that attachment. So I think for me, it gives me sort of an unbiased eye to look at the show just as it is, not as a product of the original show. And this isn't to say that you can't judge the show based off what you felt about the anime. I think that is a totally valid way to look at the show. I also think it's totally valid to not consider that at all because this is a completely different show. This is a completely different
Okay. You can use your own opinion. That's great. We get it. Thank you.
production.
Yeah.
We shouldn't necessarily put the same standards on this show that we put on the original show.
Why not?
What? Yeah. Why not?
Well, it
What?
wouldn't be.
No.
It wouldn't be 1-to-1. It
not?
would be like 1 to like 0.9 or
No.
something.
No. Hold on.
No.
I hope the story is good. I hope the acting is good. I hope the stuff is good.
I hope
The
the
same
camera
way-
work is good. I hope the lighting is good.
Yeah, the same way. I
Right.
I hope
But
the costumes are
Yeah.
good. I hope the casting is good.
the caveat would have to be in real time, like in live action. Like obviously, it's a downgrade from what you're expecting because you expect picture perfect, great music, great sound, everything else
Mhm.
fantastic, and it's not. You just can't do that.
It doesn't need to be a 100% copy. Nobody asked for that.
Well, that's what I
Nobody
mean.
says that.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
No, but what this
What?
is they made utter trash. They did everything wrong, and they did it on purpose in part.
Well, okay, that's what I mean. Not everything was horrible. There were some elements which I could, like the intro. I say, "Oh, that's very well done," and then
Not intro was atrocious.
yes, as a
Have you ever
whole,
seen them next to each
as
other?
as
They're
a
a parody. They're a parody
Yeah, hold on.
versions
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
Cowboy Bebop intro by cartoons
yes, but
that did them better.
I'm saying you obviously don't have the same criteria. You use the same categories like visuals and sound. Yeah, of course. But then you go, okay, this is obviously live action. With
A
live
random
action,
anime music video has better.
sure.
What do you say? On frame
No.
cuts.
Yeah, for sure.
With the
No,
music.
but-
This thing was
hold on.
not even in sync with the music.
The thing
It's
is,
lazy, amateurish crap. No, wait, not amateurish. Beginner level crap.
Yeah, and I know
Because AMVs are usually made by amateurs, and they can be freaking good.
right. And I saw the intro as I was saying. There are some scenes which work because they just look better, and there are some scenes like Spike running, and they show John Cho running across the screen. It's like that doesn't look good at all. Like that looks really off.
Yeah, but that's
Yes, and
not
the intro
that's-
as a whole is crap.
Exactly, as a whole.
Yeah.
But elements,
Right.
specific ones, like they show the guns firing. The first one was great. The second one was bad. So
Yeah,
Yeah, but I don't
Well,
excuse
that's what that was my
I don't
point.
excuse the shittiness of the thing because there's one aspect that got it right on accident.
well, that's what he's trying to do
Yeah.
here. So we have to.
Yes.
No, he's not. No, he's not. That's not what he's saying. What he's saying is you should be. If we go back a bit, because what he's actually trying to say is we should hold the Netflix thing to a lower standard because it's a completely different thing to Cowboy Bebop. It's like no, we have to hold all shows to a similar standard. If they can't reach a basic standard, then they're not good.
Yeah.
Well, the problem.
That's the thing.
Desperately wants to go
claims
for the same aesthetic as well.
Yeah,
because
failing
the
it
problem-
doesn't
miserably.
want to be
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop.
The problem I have is this is the adaptation argument again and again. That
It's not about adaptations. If the problem is the Cowboy Bebop Netflix show cannot stand on its own,
right,
right?
Right.
It is crap on its own, and that's how I look at it.
we think in
Right.
terms
So-
of story and quality of a thing independently of where it's coming from, and that's totally fine. But because
But you can't. But his argument was,
Yeah.
you shouldn't do that because the original Cowboy Bebop's really good, so you can't hold it to the same standards. It's like, no, the reason why Cowboy Bebop's the original is good is because the standards we have, it surpassed them, whereas
Well-
this new one doesn't reach the standards that we have.
I would,
Yeah,
That's
it's-
what
it's-
people
it-
don't
it is equivalent to many other of these social justice infested low effort products that have no heart, like the Wheel of Time show. It would not the show that was made, the live action show that was made. It is shit with the brand. It shits on the brand, and it would not work. It would not stand on its own if it didn't have the name of the brand.
Right.
If this was generic sci-fi show,
Mhm.
people would still say it's crap because the way it's made is crap. If the name Cowboy Bebop wasn't on there, people would still say this is crap.
now you
Or
still
not even pay attention to it. People pay attention to it because of the brand name.
what we do is in this case we have multi-tiered styles of criteria for whatever. So an adaptation will have, okay, it's still an animated movie or an animated animation or whatever, and then we have the thing it's coming from. So we compare it to like the genre, we compare it to medium, we compare it to the adaptation, and we have all these different styles of criteria. So if it fails on one, well, they have to change. They can't make Ein program. You can't teach a dog to program stuff in light speed, right? So how do you properly show a certain dog moving their head to showcase that it's coding or hacking a computer, right? You got to do something creative. So okay, we'll give a concession. We'll say, all right, it's blinking, it's barking, it's jumping up and down, whatever. It's goofy, fine. It gets the message across in a quick way. So you have to make concessions when you still get an adaptation because you can't translate it well. It's going to happen in real life. It's going to happen vice versa from real life to cartoon. So you have to use a multi-tiered approach because if you don't, you're not going to know where it's coming from, which defeats the whole purpose of an adaptation. You're not going to understand the medium it's part of because once you go to a live action, you have to make concessions. People are actors. Like John Cho is not 29 or 28 or whatever. So you're like, all right, does it still work? Maybe. That's up to you to decide. And then there's the actual genre. So what genre is it? I don't know because Bebop is multi-genre. It has all kinds of different things going on, different plots and characters. And they squished that down, I think, into like 11 episodes. And they focused on other things. Like they gave a lot of character to Julia and Vicious and other plots that weren't in the anime, which could work. This could easily work in a good independent criteria. But the fans go, wait a second. This does not sit well with me. And unless there's a good value for that criteria to work, like good acting, good writing, good dialogue, you're going to fall flat. So it's a very complicated thing. I would say more complicated than, let's say, the way the Marvel movies are made because they have multi-genre criteria and they amalgamate it all together. And for whatever reason, I have to think about it, how it works. But it's hard to do is what I'm saying. So that's why we always say, as Rough Dog 1000 says in the super chat, live actions of anime should be illegal because they're just atrocious. And we've seen it time and again, unfortunately. Anyway, let's keep going.
The show based off what you felt about the anime. I think that is a totally valid way to look at the show. I also think it's totally valid to not consider that at all because this is a completely different show. This is a completely different production team. We shouldn't necessarily put the same standards on this show that we put on the original show.
The standards we put on this show,
these ideas
the standards we put on this show are the same standards we put on everything we watch.
Yeah, this is what I was trying. This is what I was trying to get across. That he's not making the argument of, oh, we've got to treat it differently because it's live action thing. We just got to treat it differently because it's a different show.
Yeah, he's not using
You
a
have to be
multi.
lenient because it's disabled and retarded.
Well, he's not applying a multi-tiered approach to criteria. He's just saying you could do it that way, or you could do it the other way. It's like, yeah, you could, but then you're missing out on that whole list of quality that a fan would expect, or an anime fan would expect, or a guy who likes action adventure stories would expect, or whatever. So you're missing out an entire gamut of criteria that you can't.
But I don't think he's missing it. He's not doing it on purpose because he likes the show.
Well, I was hoping for that because he has this sort of impartial mentality, so he should be objective.
That's an
It's a meh or an whatever. I'll just do whatever. I'll make a video for 10 minutes.
That's an act. Joey did the same thing. The anime
So-
man.
Oh, that
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, that guy.
Oh, the shield of the shields.
guy. Oh. Yes, and now I remember him. Oh, why did I... See, most of these guys I forget because they're not big enough for me, but I was like, oh yeah, I remember doing that last month. Oh, shit. Oh. Anyway. Back to the video.
And I'll go into it real quick. If we look at the show as fans of the original, I think the problem is that it colors everything through this lens of nostalgia. That if certain boxes
No.
aren't
Give me a
checked, if certain
break.
scenes aren't.
No. They
It's not
try
about
to
nostalgia.
nostalgia bait people.
It's not about nostalgia. If Bebop came out today, it'd still be a great show, and it would still
Yeah.
be a classic.
Yeah. In the same style, in the same old art style that nowadays old. I personally like it better than lots of the new stuff because that's just too,
Yeah,
too
this is a
cleanly licked.
This is a great actual
Kinda
example
like-
because look at this scene, right? Look at the lighting. Like some people would argue from a, I don't know, cinema, what's the framing argument that, oh, there's not enough light on his face. I can't see him well. The focus is the foreground. All these other arguments. You're like, well, yeah, but that's the point. They're in a dark room. It works. You understand what's going on. Then there's the
It also shows him as a shady individual.
Right.
It focuses on the drug that they're making the deal over.
right, and maybe the sound, is the sound good enough? Can I hear him talking? Are they supposed to be very subtle and whispering? But can I at least understand what they're saying to that point? So there's all these little nuances of a standard criteria for appreciating a moving picture thing on your screen.
He's not saying we're going to get some Sundays after.
Yeah, but his nostalgia argument falls apart in the first place because the makers of the show tried to bait people with nostalgia and tried to, oh yeah, we made some shit here and some changes there. Now you get another nostalgia scene because they're so uncreative. They think that's all it needs to be.
Yeah, it's kind of surface level nostalgia.
But
Yeah,
that's people are rather put off by that.
yeah, exactly. When you see
you-
The
the
fact that it was
just-
in the intro, like they were like shoving the intro as many references as possible, which was
Yes,
stupid
yes,
to
that's
begin
what
with.
I mean. Yeah.
Like, do you
What-
remember this?
Kind of destroyed the
Yeah.
spirit of the intro itself because the intro
Yeah.
didn't know anything about the show except the characters.
yeah,
It was such a beautiful stylistic intro, like showcasing like
It's also
tidbits
very
of the
mood-setting.
universe from Cowboy Bebop itself.
well, yeah, that's a great example because the
What's
intro
universal?
had the three. I don't know how they did this, but they had the three colors, the three guns that each of the three people had. They showed it. And I was like, hey, that's pretty clever. That looks. It's
They showed the ships as well.
yeah, and then they show the other the scene where there's the side view, and they screwed it up because now the the recoil, the guns were different. I was like, what happened? How could you screw this up? This is so basic physics. It's so dumb, and it looked
The
good.
Netflix budget is just not enough.
I know.
The overlaid effects also looked terrible.
Oh, well, that's another story entirely. Yeah, special effects. Oh. That trailer with the Scott Pilgrim effects, I was just like, ooh, this is not Bebop.
Look, if I want
$70 million. That was the budget. What the fuck?
Wow.
Look, if I feel so nostalgic to watch to want to see Cowboy Bebop scenes again, I can just watch Cowboy Bebop again. There is no value in this live action thing because it isn't made with heart. They didn't care in making it.
All right,
Give
here
this to an actual fan, and you might have some care in it.
we just got bombed by Super Chats by Rough Dog 1000 again. Thanks for the 5 and the 2. Here we go. Sonic movie creators, we hear you guys. You don't like the Sonic design. We're going to fix it. Cowboy Bebop live action creators, lol. No, you guys sexist. Oh, wait. Yeah, is that from the Faye actress?
Yep.
I'm starting to think that the Sonic movie thing to make this atrocious creature might have been on purpose in the first place to create attention.
Maybe.
I also thought that when it happened as well, but I heard the studio shut down afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. Okay. Well, here's Rough Dog 1052.
Maybe they wanted to shut the...
Wonder which one is getting a second movie, lol. Oh, well. Yeah. I haven't seen the first one, but I heard it was good.
It was okay.
Yeah? All right. Jim Carrey films, I'm like, I don't care. Anyway.
Filmed the way we want them to be filmed. If the cinematography, music, or costume design, as well as the characters, doesn't reflect the way we saw the original show, I think it immediately will turn us off, whether or not the show is of quality or not. Conversely, if you look at the show through the lens of, let's do something completely and entirely different, what ends up happening is...
Then don't call it Cowboy Bebop.
Start to create a product that doesn't even resemble the original to begin with. So if you stray too far from the original Cowboy Bebop name, then what's the point of just calling it Cowboy Bebop? It could be just a random space show at that point.
Okay, so the idea is that if you want to do something new, the problem is Bebop, the idea behind Bebop was everything was different every time you watch it. Every episode is episodic, it's a different tone, it's a different style of music, which goes within the lines of jazz or blues or whatever you want to call that style of music making. It's
unironically, the original Cowboy Bebop is far more experimental and far newer than the NetBop.
Yes, and when you think of that idea, like every episode, let's say Netflix is going to be new and inspired, and they're going to use music, they're going to use heavy metal music like they did in Bebop, but it's going to be a different scenario, different plot. You're like, okay, you're going along the same, you're using the same technique in a different order for your own story. That's great. I don't mind it. So long as they can say, okay, they're taking the design choice or the production choice of Watanabe. I can get behind that if it's done well. They get a good metal band or they get a good metal song going. They tie it up with the characters in the metal. That's played throughout and it's part of the plot. Maybe there's somebody who's going to a jazz club or finds a metal player. Something along those lines. Like it has to connect. You can't just throw it in there for the sake of trying to be like Bebop. So that is where.
Just have John Cho take off his headphones and have it playing the music.
Something like that. Yeah, that would be fine. Just a little nod.
Well, that's what they do. It just feels so cheap.
Well, it depends. It depends how it's done. I don't know. I haven't seen it, so if it's just here's 2 seconds of music, you're like, that's nothing to do with Bebop. Remember that whole scene with Jet? He's talking about he was born warbling in the womb, listening to the blues. Like that's how
I was in Sympathy for the Devil.
Yeah, that was
at the beginning when he's talking to Fatty John or something like that.
Yeah, and that whole plot is about a kid who's a blues player who plays the harmonica. It's just that's the whole story. That's it. It's bookended right there. In that one episode. Doesn't go any further. And it's beautiful. It works. And it's about this kid living his life for, I think it's 100 years or 80 years, however old he was. As a kid, he's never going to grow up because of his condition, committing all these crimes. Like that's...
Yeah, there's some science wumbo jumbo about when the gate accident happened, he got caught in like an out of time kind of thing.
Right.
Student age.
Little nuances, like a short story, goes on for 22 minutes. It's awesome. It's action-packed. It has blues. It's cool. And then they switch it up the next episode. It's fantastic stuff. Okay. Here is I'm sorry, I can't pronounce. Kjorgris Hideout. Kjorgris? Okay, thank you. Yeah. The nostalgia argument falls apart when you factor in the fact that people like me who never watched the original can clearly see the Netflix version complete.
Yeah, I didn't even watch Bebop. until I was like, a couple of years ago, actually. So no nostalgia here.
Yeah.
And Jay Jameson in the chat says, that's a segment of the population that does not care about the level of quality from their entertainment, just as long as something is on the screen.
Yeah.
That is sadly true.
It's
And the same goes for quality in anything else either.
It's like going to the
Food. They don't care whether their food is good or bad. They don't have a sense of taste.
Yeah, they go to the baseball game and they buy the $12 hot dog from McDonald's because it's a hot dog. And that's what you do, and you don't think about.
And they're at the game, and I think those people are way closer to NPCs than anything else, because they're just filling up the numbers. They're just there.
Yeah, that's the whole consumer meme.
All right.
So there's this kind of fine line that I think needs to be rode in between both nostalgia and wanting to do something new. And I think the majority of the reviews that I've seen,
You want to do something new, make something original.
fit into one of those two categories. Either they wanted something new and this provided something new for them, or they hated this because...
Yeah. Joss Whedon wanted to make something like Bebop, but he also wanted to make something new. He made Firefly.
Yeah, Firefly was good.
That's the one thing we could
long
point
as it
to
lasted.
and go, you know what, he tried. That's the one thing he tried hard to make it work. And he had
Even though I think Firefly is probably closer to Outlaw Star than Bebop, but
yeah.
whatever. Most people say it's Bebop. I don't. It gets my point across.
Well, it's a space. It's because Firefly is a space cowboy thing.
Yeah, it's so many characters, and he wanted like twice the number of characters compared to what was on the screen, which is crazy. And you couldn't get it because of budgeting reasons and time. And I'm glad the fans fought for a movie version because the movie was pretty good. I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, but at least the story could be concluded somehow.
Yeah, I think a labor of
It's
love.
always sad when that can't happen.
Well, I'm just glad. That's one of the best examples of crowdfunding that's just organic. That just sort of popped up. It's like, yeah, we love this show. We want more. And they got it. And I don't know how it got funded, but the execs said, okay, you got 10, 20,000 people who want it. We can do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, there was a thing. There was a similar thing for Farscape with a worldwide fan community that wanted the story to be able to be completed, and thus they made a movie. And it has its weaknesses. It has its wackiness. Okay, yeah, sure. It has its flaws, but they finished the story.
And it has Claudia Black, so it's it's okay.
And and Claudia Black is good in that, but I think there are other characters that shine just as much, if not more. The finale to Farscape, the final scenes, that amazing stuff.
Oh, in the series.
And the whole black hole storyline.
I see. Okay.
There you get some real sci-fi with philosophy behind it, deep characters with various sides, various facets. It's great. Watch Farscape.
Yeah, if you like aliens, I mean, that they really said, okay, we're going to make an alien world. We don't care. We're going to go as far as we can.
Yeah, and most of it is puppets from the Jim Henson show.
Yeah, I know, and they look great.
Really,
they look really
and really, really great effort. The few times they use CG, it looks horrible.
The budget was, not exactly big. So, anyway, go watch Farscape. That's a good reason.
Because it didn't live up to what they felt they had seen from the nostalgic past of watching the original Cowboy Bebop show. So after all of this hype, how is the Netflix's Cowboy Bebop show? Personally, it's okay. It's just average. It's not bad.
It is beneath average. You have no standards.
I want to know
why are you laughing so nervously?
What is he comparing it to? Like, what? How does it average? Average to what?
Yeah, exactly.
Also,
because it was beginning the entire thing that like he doesn't have any attachments to Cowboy Bebop, and he thought it was average. Okay, he watches the adaptation. He has absolutely no attachment to the show. And what does he think about it? It was average.
Yeah, like the Marvel adaptations on Netflix. Like which adaptations can we look at and say this worked well, or Jessica Jones did it better or whatever. Like what? Like how? Tell us the standard, sir. It's very easy to do.
I kind
He's
of
not gonna tell us. You see.
I think this is more of a him trying to be like, this is meh. People need to stop talking about it, pass it on, so that people will stop insulting it, so he can stop feeling bad about liking it.
It could just be because it's popular, and therefore he's going to talk about it, and he wants to have his he's riding the Google trend. He's just like, okay, people are talking about it, so I'm gonna talk about it too.
Yeah, I kind of like see how normies treat these shows, even though like they have never seen the original anime. Because I have like one colleague at work who has said that like, oh, I checked out Cowboy Bebop on Netflix, and it was a pretty good show. And I said like, check out the original anime. And I said, well, I don't really like to watch cartoons, but I can see that this original was kind of goofy as well.
Yeah.
Just give up. Just give up. Like normies ruin everything.
That's what they're gonna get. They're gonna get people like my mom who, even
Like,
though she
just today, like
even
they were
though
talking about, like, have you seen the new Witcher season? I don't watch the garbage.
even though my mom loves like Tarantino movies and stuff like that, she's never gonna watch Bebop because it's anime and she doesn't like anime.
Yeah, and that's the
Yeah.
funny thing about anime with
She just
Bebop.
looks at it and it just shuts off.
Yeah, Bebop would be the thing you show people who aren't into anime. It's like, this is adult, this
Yeah.
is mature, this is fun, this is silly, this is serious, it's everything. We'll try episode 1, and that if you don't like episode 1, forget anime, guys. Just forget anime in general. You're not going to get it.
You can even show like
even watch a
Ghost in the
goddamn
Shell,
Ghibli
Ghost in the
movie.
Shell, and they're gonna be like, well, I just can't take it seriously because this is all like a cartoon.
Yeah.
But if you show them like the next MCU movie, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, I can relate to this.
Superheroes.
Yeah, because it looks real enough.
Of course.
It's like I do not know what is up with this mindset that because it's drawn, you can't take it seriously.
But it's the kind of
It's-
generational gap that we had
I
with
guess.
people who didn't understand like computers and such.
Like, I could watch an old
Yeah, that is-
Daffy
yeah.
Duck or Bugs Bunny show with my mom, and she'll like it because she knows it,
Yeah,
and it's cool for her, and she remembers
yeah.
it.
It's also because the original Looney Tunes were smart. There were smart jokes in there that
I
the
couldn't
kids
even-
wouldn't get yet, but the adults would.
Even when I was a kid, I couldn't get my mom to watch Ghibli movies with me because she just doesn't like anime. Ghibli movies, things that basically anyone could get into.
Yeah, it's like watching Disney from another country. It's the same quality,
Yeah.
sometimes better quality,
Better.
and it's universal. Everyone can appreciate it.
It's usually better written, definitely.
Yeah, some definitely are for sure. Yeah.
Some of them, yes.
Nor is it good. It's just middle of the road. And I think that this is the review that most people don't want to give because it's much juicier to say, oh, it's this terrible, terrible product.
Oh, no. So far, you have not given a review. You have stated your opinion, and you said it in a very unsure way with a nervous laugh.
Right. Now, if he said it
So I'm
was...
not even sure whether that's even your opinion.
Yeah, if he said it was mediocre and then he started listing reasons, then I'd be like, oh, he knows what he's talking about. He didn't like it. He didn't dislike it that much. He's sort of meh on it. Like, fine, at least I know where he's coming from. You can't just say,
Yeah.
it's okay. And that's not what you wanted to hear.
Yeah,
And that's
just-
what
that's-
it's like, no, dude, just give me reasons.
That's just a
He's
that's
just
just a
being
score.
dismissive.
That's just an opinion.
Yeah.
A review would be the explanation of how you come to that
Yeah, like
opinion, how
when-
you come to that score.
When you have a fan talk
You have to
about...
elaborate,
talk
Mr.
about-
Movie Maker.
We have a fan talk about the thing they like, and I get this a lot from BioWare fans because BioWare games are big and huge and everyone enjoys something about them. They love them to death, but they'll know that, 60% of the experience is either crap or boring or stupid, or I don't know why this stupid shit is happening. Like, there's all kinds of crap they have to go through to get to the gold nuggets. And they are there, but it's surrounded by
And they're
shit.
real gold nuggets.
They are great. They're good stuff.
Yeah.
But to get there,
Conversations with the Reapers, amazing. I love that shit.
that is like Asimov level quality writing, right? That one scene was like, oh my God, that was like, I remember playing that in 2007 and going, whoa, I gotta
Yeah,
finish.
it was like I was like the conversations with the Reapers, conversations with Legion, and I feel like the people who wrote that understand AI. They understand how a consciousness that is different from ours comes from a completely different foundation of thinking, of thought, would act and see the world and see us.
Not to
That is
mention,
extremely hard to do.
not to mention with Dragon Age, there's all the characters. All the characters are usually great to talk to.
Yeah, until Inquisition. But
Yeah, I haven't gotten to Inquisition yet.
no, don't worry, you don't have to.
I already own it, so I might as well play it.
Oh well,
I was
I own
just
I own
bored
knives.
from
Don't
my
use them on people.
from my flatmate just playing Inquisition, and I was bored by the gameplay. Just watching it while he played it in the room.
Yeah, no, it's
But yeah, the party in Dragon Age 1 and Dragon Age 2, they feel like people.
that was the amazing stuff with the Dragon Age games is just walking around, you'll trigger events where depending on who you have in your party, we'll get a completely different conversation, which has something to do with the plot, something to do with relationships, something to do with your dog. It's all random. It's like, wow, they put all this effort and content that you'll never see.
That takes forever to write out.
Which is
And
record.
amazing that they did that.
Oh no! You're like, oh no, writers have to write something out. My God, poor bastards. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, but that's amazing. That's effort. That's heart blood that goes into that creation.
that's a little bit of more effort that you put in that will make people in games feel alive.
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying it's a bit like you shouldn't be asking writers of video games to do that. They should write substandard, crappy, generic plots.
I know.
And demand you pay $80.
The same concept that I was saying about how there's gold buried in all this other content, it's because there's a writer's room. And for Legion, I remember Chris Atwal, he's the guy who wanted to go as far as he could with Legion, make him the most machine-like instance, but they had to water him down. So we got this pseudo Legion that he wanted to be like absolute computerized and technical, and they made him more human. Even the armor thing, Chris Atwal says he would never put that on his body. He would never take something human and attach it to himself and have some affiliation with Shepard. That would never happen. But they wanted to do that. They wanted to give him some character and throw on a. And in the story, and the reason why in the game, everyone knows it. There was a hole. That's the only reason. There's no other explanation. You're like, come on. That's the you can do much more with that character, and they didn't. So,
consider the fact that in the story of Mass Effect, the Legion's only there for 3 missions.
Yeah, he's right near the end. You're right. But originally, he was like they had the same design of Mass Effect 1. You can go anywhere and get anyone at any time.
Yeah. Well, people have found clips of him on Purgatory, where you get Jack, and that's way before you can get him.
Yeah, they almost clipped him out of the Tali mission, and it was like, you know, that is like the best. If you want conflict, go there.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
But it's one of those where But with this, I'm just listening to him talk about this Netflix, and I just feel that he really, 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 really likes the Netflix version, but he's realised he's in a very small group of people, and he's just trying to be as middle of the road as possible, but doesn't believe what he's saying.
Yeah, that's my opinion. He really likes it. He wants people to move on so they can stop shit talking it.
Yeah, it's like. Yeah, it's just a bit
if
like,
you have such low standards that you can enjoy it, then go ahead and enjoy it. It's your personal thing. Nobody keeps you from watching it and enjoying it.
This is the Naked Gun scene where he's standing in front of the building. Nothing to see here while there's a giant inferno behind him.
Okay.
It's like no offense. If you like Cowboy Bebop, that's fine. I don't care about your opinion. the woman I love likes The Witcher, and it's one of the worst things I've ever seen. So it doesn't really matter. You know,
All right. Okay.
potato, potato. Do what you want.
Yeah.
I don't
all right.
care. I'm not your dad.
Here's Rough Dog with super chat for 5, and then we'll get on with the video. Speaking of BioWare, oh no, this will take another 10 minutes. I just finished Mass Effect 1, bravo, and now I'm moving to 2. Oh, I liked 1,
No.
but I hated the shooting here, is hoping it's better in 2. I will say the shooting in 2 is more refined. Whether you like it more is a matter of preference. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those where it's a bit like... Well, go on, Wes. Finish what you're going to say.
There's another super chat.
yes, but Hawk, you were
We're
talking.
just waiting.
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, the shooting's really good in Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, they changed the lore, but they
Didn't they remove the whole if you don't have the skill in the weapon,
they
you can't
added
really shoot it very well.
They added that. They changed a lot of things. They retconned how bullets work, and they include a.
Well, they included the ammunition,
Yeah.
which is
Well,
ridiculous.
in Mass Effect 1, what I remember is if you didn't have, like, for example, skill in the assault rifle, if you fired the assault rifle, you wouldn't hit anything.
Yeah, but the thing is, you could literally put a modification that would give you unlimited ammunition. So one of those 10 million bullets you shot would hit something. So that was a cool thing. But in Mass Effect 2, the only class that can use an assault weapon is the soldier. So you can't even mix and match stuff.
Then they changed it again. They put a weight mechanic in the 3rd game, and they screwed a lot of shit up with the shooting mechanics. They added ammo powers, which are bullshit. They make no sense.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of problems with the games, but let's keep going. I don't want to harp. I harped on that years ago. I'm good.
For 10 plus years now.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Still going on. Jake the Surgeon, thanks for the 5. That came out of nowhere. Did they ever explain why dogs are taxed so highly in the live action? Because that was stupid. Do you mean why the robo dogs? What are they called? Data dogs? Ein was a data dog because he has all his access to information. He could hack stuff, no problem.
I'm honestly not sure what he's talking about.
The Bebop, I think it was the 2nd or 3rd episode.
Yeah, but he mentioned something about them being taxed high. Is he talking about them going through the transporters in space, the gates?
Why they're
And they were
too long.
taxing
I
the
don't
dogs?
remember that.
they were smuggling
I
iron.
know that wasn't in the show. I don't remember them talking about the taxes on iron in the anime.
Not the anime. No, I don't remember that at all. I know he was
It's about the
smuggled. but-
show.
Yeah, they kept him in a briefcase or whatever, little bag. And
Well, yeah, he was part of it. He was part of an illegal experimentation thing.
Yeah. Taxes on dogs. Never heard it. I will. Damn it! Now I want to watch the show. Just what the hell are they talking about?
Maybe this has to do with the Netflix thing. I'm not sure.
It has to be. Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for the weird lore there for Netflix Bebop. Because
I remember in the first episode of Netflix Bebop, which is basically the only one I've watched, they had the thing where the gate people are talking about, oh, you'll even text how many times you flush the toilet, and one of the guys goes, "We already do."
Okay. Funny.
Yeah, it's kind
Haha,
of
funny.
All right.
So I thought he might have been referring to that. Maybe there's something with that in Ein later on when he shows up. I don't know.
Maybe we'll find
Who
out.
knows?
Let's go.
And that plays into a certain audience. Or if you say, oh, it's the best thing since sliced bread, that plays into a different audience. So I feel like people usually make these more controversial reviews because they will get better clicks. But the honest truth
like
of
you
it
are
is,
doing.
as someone who's not a huge Cowboy Bebop fan but does know the lore, it's okay. It's an okay show. And I think that you can break that down to a few categories. The first category would be cinematography. I feel like the majority of the Netflix shows have comparable cinematography, but to say
No,
that
it's
this
not.
is,
Not at all.
blowing anyone out of the water would be
It's Dutch angles everywhere.
Yeah.
The cinematography is
Yeah.
not comparable in the slightest.
He literally just said it's got okay. And it's like, really? That's your...
He just said it had
Really?
comparable cinematography to the original.
No, it doesn't.
the cinematography in Cowboy Bebop Netflix has no character, no subtlety. It says nothing.
It's bland. It's like they've made Dutch angles flat. It's like pretty impressive.
Dutch angles, flat color palettes.
Yeah, it just looks drab.
Yeah,
It's
some of the sets look really fabricated, like they just threw them up together, and the rest was CGI'd.
Yeah. Like,
Yes.
Like remember
The
remember
lighting
when we saw that?
looks like pretentious movie student.
Remember when we saw that scene from the Stray Dog Strut version of that they did, where they're supposed to be outside? It looks like they're in a studio.
Yeah, they were on a street or some sort of city street, and it's just the Dutch angle, and you're like, that building doesn't look.
Yeah, they're supposed to be on Mars, and they're clearly inside in purple lighting.
Yeah.
Now, don't you know that the sun, when it shines on Mars, is purple? I watched The Big Bang Theory once.
Like, I mean, if they're gonna do a scene on Mars, at least make it red or something.
All right, we got some more super chats from Jake. Thanks again, Jake. It's stated that dogs have a tax when Jet gave Ein to his daughter in the live action. What? That baffled me for beyond reason. Okay, yeah, that's
that
different.
sounds fucking retarded.
Yeah.
So Jet bought a data dog, or just bought Ein for her?
No, he gave Ein to his daughter, and I guess there's a tax on it.
What?
It's just a way to kick down Jet doing something good for his daughter to make it seem bad, probably.
We need conflict here. You're taxed. What a great conflict. Well, taxes.
Yeah, taxes, the eternal conflict. Yeah,
cool. The eternal.
Well, yeah, because Jet and NetBop can't do anything right, apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, but imagine thinking, only good dads evade taxes. Yeah.
Then I became a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Jake the Surgeon, one more time for 5. Thank you, sir. Are we going to talk about the tismed twist of Julia becoming the main villain?
The main villain.
God, I don't want to talk about that.
Or all of
You don't need to read every typo.
I try. I like to. Or all of Vicious' overacting. I think Vicious' overacting or the script was the real villain of the story.
Yeah.
You want to give Julia some extra lines? I don't care. That's fine. But,
the real villains are the friends we made along the way.
It's about family, really. It's
about family. And family are the biggest villains of all.
Where are my sleep meds?
I'm looking at Asimov here, and all I can think about is, man, if the actor for Vicious was Spanish, he'd probably make a pretty good Asimov.
Yeah, just darken up his skin about 20 times.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the eyes for it, certainly.
Oh, the crazy crazy eyes, the crazy face, everything.
The thing that I don't get, obviously, with the Julia twist is, that because of their certain political leanings, that Julia would have no comeuppance for Sheet and Spike. Nothing bad would happen to her. She'd win everything, and in the end, she'd probably just turn back to being a good guy.
It doesn't make sense.
She's going to win at the end, probably.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Would have if they continued.
If she's in charge of the syndicate, why is she shooting the guy she loves? She's the boss. She can do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
She's the boss now. She can tell Spike to throw fucking her abuser out the window instead.
Yeah. That just doesn't make any sense to me. And also the fact that, like most Netflix things, the women cannot be villains.
Nope. No further thought went into this scene other than, wow, this is so girl boss.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's about her not being a damsel. That's why they make her the villain, because they don't know what else to make her strong with.
Villain in massive quotes, because they probably would have revealed that she would be the good guy at the end, and probably what would have happened is Spike and Vicious would have killed each other, and she would have taken over the syndicate, and the syndicate would prosper under her leadership because she's so good in a woman.
Yeah. And the syndicate would not do bad things, but feed orphans and rebuild aqueducts and save puppies and cats out of trees and stuff.
They'd also overthrow the corporate oligarchy that rules over the galaxy that nobody knows about.
And introduce space socialism.
With grenades. Anyway, Jake the Surgeon, thanks again for the 5 again. The tax is just on dogs in general, I believe. The ex-wife says they can't afford the taxes on having a dog. This is real. So they're getting taxed every month for having a pet?
Well, they're probably not getting taxed for it because they probably haven't registered IN or some shit.
Right, but when you're talking about owning a pet, it is an investment in time and money and going to the vets and getting their tests done and feeding them and taking them out. Like it's basically
but why would the state just tax owning an animal? That doesn't make any sense.
It's a dumb joke.
They're taxing people having houses. They're taxing people having land. They're taxing people for exchanging goods. For buying bread.
Yeah,
this is not that far off to tax people for having pets.
I mean, I agree that our current government would tax people if they could on basically everything, but
they just didn't have the idea yet.
Yeah, but here's the thing: in the UK, if you've got a car that can't be driven and you can't get rid of it, they'll still tax you on it, even though it's doing nothing. You could literally leave a car in the middle of the field, and the UK government would say you still owe tax on that because it exists. It's not doing anything, but you still have to pay tax on it. It's but it's got no wheels. You still got to pay tax. But I'm not doing anything with it. Still got to pay tax. Crazy.
See, I could see if they went with the what was that plant in what the hell is that episode? Is basically it cures illnesses. It was some sort of illness.
Yeah.
Like if you owned exotic things or foreign things, there has to be a tax because it's not part of the same country or planet or whatever. Mm-hmm. Make more sense. And there'd be a whole smuggling.
That's on one of the moods of Jupiter, I think. I'm trying to think.
Ganymede, Titan, which one? Because those are the only ones that ever get mentioned.
It's probably Venus or something. I can't remember.
Venus. That
it was movie. Venus sickness. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, lots of things the writing could have been better on, but all it takes is a little bit of lore and say, hey, let's use this. It's like, yeah, go for it. Anyway, halfway
Waltz for Venus was the episode.
Yeah. That's why I remember it. I was like, yeah, it's probably the same thing. Yeah, Waltz. Yeah, okay.
An overstatement. It's not really that great. It's just comparable. The CGI
it's just
is
comparable.
Pretty good throughout the show.
Pretty good.
Pretty
comparable
well rendered.
To what?
But
I think that's our hint that he likes it. That he's saying it's comparable.
Yeah, I think he was entertained, but he's trying to validate himself, and he's like, the CGI's... Yeah.
He's trying to downplay it, yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
the trailer shots were probably the most well-rendered one, because that's the advertisement material. But when you see a complete scene in context, and how the human characters move in the environment, it's so fake. It looks like they just green screened them in the 2000s video game or something.
Not to mention, I cannot tell you how much I hate the generic bubble dome that they have over the cities.
Yeah.
Instead of the jets of air that go up that you saw in one of the episodes where you see them flying through it.
Yeah, because that would take more effort to animate and such.
The animated water was definitely when the Bebop hits the water.
They couldn't even get the color right.
Yeah.
It looks like swamp water.
Yeah. What is comparable for what kind of complement or whatever measure is that?
I know.
What's he comparing it to? That means he's comparing it to something.
Yeah, exactly.
So the original, something else?
He's comparing it to the original. He's saying it's comparable to the
original.
Yeah,
but he said we shouldn't.
Not at all.
In the beginning said we shouldn't compare it to the original.
Yeah, but...
You only compare it when you feel like it.
Again, this is a guy trying to wave people on to stop criticizing something that he likes so he can like it in peace.
Yeah.
Your taste is shit because you don't even have any.
Again, if he was saying specific examples of what it was comparable to, and he actually showed us a cross-section, say, here's the animation here, and here's the animation there. And we go, okay, it doesn't look as the same to me.
He's not gonna do that because he knows it won't stand up.
Yeah, I know.
I would never want this guy on my team if I ever made a movie, because he would just do the most mediocre, uninspired, lame crap imaginable.
Well, as a critic, I don't care that his opinion is wrong or bad. I just want him to show his reference, why he thinks this way, and say, I like this shit on the wall because it looks like that shit on the wall. And you're like, okay, now we can understand where you're coming from. You're validating your opinion, even if it's literally
you can't
shit.
think that far.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. But that's how it goes.
You can't do that when you're trying to obfuscate where you're
Yeah,
coming.
I could take any line from the show that the actors had to say and compare it to any line of the same character in the anime and just say, oh, well, this is clearly better in the anime. Because clearly.
Well, it's like when Julius says to Spike, I am the Cowboy Bebop, and shoots him out of the church. Yeah, that's comparable to that famous scene in Star Wars when Rey goes, I am the Rey, and stabs Kylo Ren in the face.
That happened, yes.
Oh, no, I don't know. I'm actually a couple of beers in right now because this is just terrible. So
We have
if
more.
I go quiet, if I go quiet, I'm probably passed out somewhere. I do apologize.
Okay. One more from Jake. Jake, you're pumping out the money there. We can't forget when they leave Ein on the streets. A corgi has a survival skills of a toddler. Instant dislike. Also, Spike's plot armor is insane. Yeah, I think.
Oh yeah, I heard they did that in the episode where what's his name again? Trying to think. The floaty guy.
Wow.
Puro.
The Puro, yeah.
LeFou, yeah.
Which they call the Mad Pirate.
What?
In the entire episode, everyone says the Mad Pirate, and it drives me fucking insane.
That's a bad Agatha Christie joke. Live action.
Don't do that, please.
Don't do what? What?
Hercules
Say
That's
it in that
Poirot?
really dumb way.
I don't know if you guys remember
Oh.
watching BBC Mysteries with David Suchet, but that was a joke. Some guy,
Poirot.
yeah, some
So
guy
basically,
trying to pronounce Hercule
They call him
Poirot.
yeah, they
Hercules Poirot. Like, what?
Well,
So-
they always used to call him Parrot,
Oh, really?
didn't they? Yeah,
What-
Yap used to say Parrot in the first.
Poirot.
so basically, what happens in the episode is Mad Pirot is revealed to have been reveals a message through Ein because he has some way to reveal messages to people through his eyes. Because he's a robot now, I guess. I don't know. And they think that he's using Ein to track them, so they get rid of Ein, and they just leave him on the fucking street.
Nice.
What is this again?
What is what again?
I don't know.
The show you're talking about. I don't recognize.
Yeah,
would
you know
be
what? I gotta see this train wreck. It's getting really entertaining for just like, what the hell? Oh boy.
Yeah.
There's a channel that's inspired by EFAP that's doing a watch through of it, like the way EFAP was watching through Mandalorian and how they're watching through Boba Fett now.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Okay. Fun
I don't want to guess what channel that is.
If they ever dared to watch through Buffy, they couldn't like it anymore. Because
Oh,
they would
no.
show the whole world what trash it is.
Oh. All right, let's keep going.
And this looks like comparable to anything that you would see on The Mandalorian or any other big sci-fi TV show. So it's not really.
Really?
Oh, that's not saying much.
No other bad shows.
What? I completely zoned out. What was this nonsense?
So
He said it's not like it's like anything you'd see on The Mandalorian or other sci-fi shows. The Mandalorian, and great
And
acting,
writing.
people who act like they're experienced fighters and know what they're doing. They don't.
Yeah, the writing was so sad.
okay, that's his standard. The Mandalorian is his standard for sci-fi shows. You're like, all right, fair enough.
I
The
would have said
Mandalorian was
original
better than
Star
this.
Trek, but okay.
The Mandalorian at least had its aesthetic of space cowboy stuff that was actually good, somewhat.
Like I always remember the Mandalorian when main character shoots that guy and goes, "I am the Mandalorian."
I am all the Mandalorian.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the
but
Mandalorians in Star
wasn't
Wars
good,
have
but
a
it was
cool
at least
factor.
watchable.
The Mandalorians in Star Wars have a cool factor in and of themselves that draws people to them.
Yeah.
And that's basically what the show was riding on.
It's like that new show when Boba Fett shoots that girl and goes, "I am the Book of Boba Fett."
Oh god.
I'm gonna stop
drink
drinking
more.
now.
Jesus.
No.
It's like the fourth time he's used that joke. It's okay.
We're gonna hear it 30 more times.
Yeah, I know. Anyway.
It's like when I was watching The Witcher and I went, "This is shit."
Okay, let's go.
Going to be setting the bar or setting the standard for TV. The costume design, I think, kind of fits in this weird realm of both colorful and interesting, as well as too campy. So at points, the characters kind of look a little goofy with how they are dressed, and it seems like kind of like
A pregnant woman
They don't
wearing a
look
dress is goofy? How?
They don't look goofy at all. What are you talking about? They look normal.
Yeah.
Spike's wearing a two-piece. It's a,
The
I
only
must
thing where
just-
you can derive this goofy from is that this is the future. Fashion is a bit different.
yeah, it's
I guess you
It's
could
not
say it's
necessarily
kind of
goofy.
it's
Look
I
at
guess
all the
you could
gay
say-
people in California. That is goofy in a very disturbing way.
I guess you could say it's kind of goofy that Jet is always wearing coveralls, but
Why?
other than that,
well, they
Why
usually
is that goofy?
they usually just show like cities, like the rundown parts of a city amongst all this technology and plazas and giant space stations that are casinos or whatever. So that's the aesthetic. It's kind of like this rustic city, futuristic, but not diesel punk. What's the word? Space opera
Steam-
punk? I don't know. Something like that.
Space punk.
It's a space opera. It's an amalgamation of styles, and the fashion sense is all over the place.
Yeah, the thing is, fashion.
It's just a down-to-earth sci-fi.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think too much of sci-fi fashion. People have got to try and imagine what fashion will look like in 100 years' time. When I can't even imagine what fashion will look like in 5 years' time, because fashion is terrible right now.
Well, in the
I
future,
mean, look at most of the characters. Most of them are just wearing stuff that you would see people wearing in the 90s, like
exactly.
polo
And
shirts
there's those.
with like slacks and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's funny to have a
Normal stuff.
juxtaposition of those three guys that keep popping up in every episode who are crop dusters, and they fly biplanes.
They made the gates.
Yeah, and it's so weird that they're just there drinking all the time, and wherever they pop in, it's just like they're just constantly in the
They have
background.
names too, but I can't remember. They're
Yeah.
named after a musician.
They're in the they play a pivotal role in the movie, which I remember. But I find it funny that they have biplanes amidst all this other like here. Spike is driving his plane down the road because he has to. It's all he's got. So.
Mhm.
Like he does what he
Their
can.
names are Antonio, Carlos, and Yohim.
Oh, right, okay.
All right. Anyway,
Yeah, cool.
fashion, cool.
like a
Mhm.
cosplay event or something
No.
like that. But again, the costumes aren't too bad, but they do kind of fit the vibe of what I think they're trying to go for. The main thing I think most
No.
people are going to complain
Cosplay
about,
does it better.
Yes.
Cosplay does it better. Jet just looked like he was wearing like jean coveralls with like hockey gear for his shin guards or whatever. And his arm looked fucking awful. It looked like it would fall off if anything touched it.
Well, let's not get into fashion because we all know where that's going to head. So,
Assless chaps.
not quite that direction I was thinking, but no, the whole conversation with
Oh, right. Sorry, I'm thinking something else. Sorry.
Faye. Yeah, let's not talk about that.
I was still thinking about Wisp's dressing in California. Sorry.
Okay.
are two issues, which is basically the acting and the story. The acting is all right. It's actually pretty good. I think John Cho is the lead, is pretty darn good.
No.
I think I I think John chose the lead. No, he is the lead. It's not, you don't think he is. He is.
You always just give us your opinion on what you feel things are like. You don't give an explanation. You don't give an example of a really good, well-acted scene.
The acting is so
You just
off,
give us
and
hollow shit. This is not a review.
You can tell that barely
Still
anyone
not-
even watched the show before getting an
Yes.
act on it. John Cho's the only one who watched the show, and he didn't even get Spike right.
Yeah. He tried.
At least
I could say he tried.
Yeah, at least
I agree that he
credit is due.
genuinely tried.
Yeah, I think the best acting, and a lot of people have said this too, even the people who don't like the show, they liked the depiction of Jet, or the actor for Jet. He did a decent...
I think people are being easy on him.
I know, but out of
honestly.
all the other acting, like, that was like the only one that was like, all right, he did a good job.
I
Compared...
don't think he did a good job. I think people are going easy on him because they like the actor.
I think it's just the least offensive.
Yes. They like,
Yeah.
this stands out because it was the least crappy out of all of them.
Yeah. It's almost like saying, like, Hermann Goering is the least offensive of all the Nazis. So, well...
Oh my god.
I mean, I think he gets the voice down sometimes, but I don't think he gets the mannerisms of Jet basically at all.
Oh.
Yeah,
I mean,
these
you're
people
not
can't
wrong.
act. There's no face. There's no. They don't know how to act quietly, how to act in silence, how to emote without words.
In Jet, out of all of this Cowboy Bebop cast, we're all very quiet. Jet is probably the quietest character, and he's far too loud in that bop.
All right.
I think that the other two leads are okay. I think that they both have their moments, but they also have their moments where they're quite annoying. I know that the Faye Valentine character has been kind of seen as not very accurate to the anime, and I think I would...
Not accurate at all. She's been completely
Raped.
destroyed.
Dude, couldn't you have written a script for this?
Well, as I
You
say,
couldn't have written
He sounds so
Faye
unsure,
words.
like he doesn't even know what to say.
okay, I say this before.
He's fishing for words and how can I say something somewhat positive about this? It's all hollow.
I think people actually tried to write Faye worse, and it turned out worse in the adaptation.
Yeah.
Like on 4chan, people were like making ironic predictions about how bad it would be, and it turned out worse.
All right, here is Jake the Surgeon for the 10. Thank you, sir. Right on topic. Faye is probably the most butchered character. She gives Jet and Spike no reason to trust her and impedes repairs on the Bebop by scissoring the mechanic.
I'm sorry?
I'm assuming...
A mechanic lady grooms her into being a lesbian.
Okay.
Oh. Oh no.
So now Hawk wants to...
They had to take away that Jet performs maintenance on all of the ships,
Oh.
so they added in a mechanic.
Hold on. What were you going to say there, Smud? I'm going to what?
You're probably going to watch the show now.
There's a big possibility now. If there's a scissoring scene.
Tell your girlfriend, hey, let's watch this great show. Okay, great.
You know that I've seen Henry Cavill half naked. Well, guess what? We're gonna have to watch Cowboy Bebop now.
Good compromise. There we go.
Yeah, and I think Coolman put it well.
Do you
in the
really want to
chat.
see Faye's actress naked though?
No.
I think Coolman put it well in the chat where he says John Cho and Mustafa Shakir didn't do a good job because the writing was just plain crap. But both of them seem like decent guys, and I
Right.
don't have any ill will towards them.
Exactly. Like,
Okay.
Jogler adds Jet was actually a fan, so Mustafa Shakir was actually a fan. He just had to work with what he was given, which was crap.
Well, yeah, we know that. We just.
We can put it like that.
here's
I'm still gonna say he's a good. What he did was good because it was still bad. Just you know. If someone
when you
give
work
it,
I
on
still
when
don't
you-
think he did a good Jet. I don't think
I
he
think-
did a good Jet.
I think what happens when you're an actual fan and you get on a project like this that butchers the thing you're a fan of, it gets harder to really
Portray
give
it
your
right.
all. really give your all.
Yeah.
I can kind of understand that, but I still don't think that their choices for Jet and Spike were good.
No. Here's Jake again.
As much as they do genuinely seem to love the show, though.
Yeah, but that's it's been long agreed on.
All right.
By the critics.
Here's Jake again for the 5. Tell Smut about the episode where people are turned into trees. I think I heard about that. Someone mentioned it last time.
That's their version of the episode with Twinkle Murdoch.
Okay.
You know how she has the monkey virus thing? It's not a monkey virus anymore. It just turns people into trees somehow.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that crazy tourist chick. Okay, yeah. All right.
Because fuck trees. Am I right, guys?
I don't mind having stories that differ from the original in interesting ways. Like the virus does something different. That's fine. It's just how it's done. So it could.
Yeah, but it did kind of in a weird science fiction-y way make sense that it could revert people to a monkey. It doesn't make sense how it turns them into trees.
Exactly. Yeah. See that was perfectly fine in the original, but when you alter genes, you're talking about I can make this thing work better. I could turn this off. It's not. I'm going to graft a tree to your genome, and now you can start sprouting roots in 10 years. That's a bit of a stretch. And to have that happen in real time or, within seconds, I'm like, oh boy. That is not usually, like, bioweapons and this are not really part of the story of Bebop. It's just,
isn't that just Harold from Fallout?
Yeah, you're right.
Hooray.
All right. or Groot. What was his name? Is it Groot?
Groot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Groot, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Concur with that, but I think again it just depends on what kind of flavor do you want. Do you want something different? Then this would definitely be different. If you want something,
if that's like all it takes, then like I think it succeeded. All it needs to be is different. Sure.
What a
100% success.
If you want different, go with the original Cowboy Bebop because that's actually different.
Just watch something entirely else.
Just watch anything not Bebop. You'll like it. What the hell?
It's like, because when I wanted to watch the Netflix Cowboy Bebop, I put Jurassic Park on because I thought that was that it could be.
Can you imagine a criteria like you have like your standard for like space opera or whatever, and then you have this one at the bottom says, "Is it different?" Yes, it is not the thing that I watched originally. It's a different show. Yes. Oh, then you want something.
He still seems to be trying to pass off that the Netflix Bebop is something new and experimental when it's not. It's trite and average.
That was so far.
It's just pretentious beginner movie student crap.
Yeah, this is the dumbest thing I've said so far. We can stop right now if you guys want because that was dumb. That was just absolutely stupid.
That was really dumb.
Yeah. You want something different. I can watch any channel. It's a different channel. Wow, I'm watching something different. It's like,
I've helped on on student movies of that quality minus the CGI.
Yeah.
NetBob is just lowest tier garbage.
All right,
it's not unique in any way. There's no flavor to it. There's nothing to it.
All right, here's Jake again. Jake, you're just throwing money. I'm going to kill the stream, so keep giving your money. Then there's the episode, We Are Faye's Fake Mom's Foreplay involves her husband fake hunting her down to kill her. Whoa.
I'm not listening anymore.
Yeah, they turned Whitney into a woman and made her like a role model for Faye instead of someone who just scammed her and fucking left.
What?
Why? That's losing the entire purpose of the.
Wow. Okay, you know what? I gotta watch this. It sounds so bad that I can't not want to see it.
The only takeaway that I can get from this video is that Tommy Wiseau should have been vicious.
Yeah, see, that makes me smile. I just want to do that. What a great idea. All right, let's go to stream memes, guys. This is too bad. Like this is not even worth our time to consider. So let's go to stream memes.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, it's not worth it. If we even have any stream memes, let me check. We have one. It is
Just a link.
Yeah, it's a video link. Sadly. Stale
No memes.
bilge water. Welcome to the ouch. How long is this video?
Oh my god.
Welcome to the ass, motherfuckers!
Welcome to the ouch is an actual line from NetBop.
Oh my god. That was 8 seconds of Faye screaming and swearing. Okay. Jeez.
What a terrible, terrible, terrible video.
That was yeah, not very good. Well, it was only 10 minutes. We only went through 7 or so, and
Yeah, you can't get to the point where it's different. Just watch the video. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, guys, this fellow. There's one thing to be able to make videos, and that's your interest in life, and you want to use your YouTube channel for that. That's awesome. Good for you. If you want to be a critic, you have to use the skills of a critic. And the logical.
If you want to ever make a good movie, you can't have no standards. You
well,
hack.
okay, I could argue. If you're good at one thing, like
I'm
so
talking to the video guy.
No, that's what I mean. If you are, let's say, a good chef, it doesn't mean you're a good taster or a good critic of the food you make. You could just have a following of fans who love your food. That's fair. But
Case in point, have you seen the movies that Doug Walker made?
no, and I never will.
No.
I'm
I've actually seen all 3 of the movies that Doug Walker made. And,
Look, commercial success only means commercial success. It does not mean that the product is of actual quality.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, Jake the Surgeon for the 5. Thank you, sir. It's one thing to be a bad adaptation if it's good on its own. This is what Hawk was referring to. If it's independently okay by itself. The disaster piece is terrible on both fronts. Suffer with this Smud. You know what? I could probably take it because my appreciation of Bebop as a part of my life, part of my love of stories, will never hinder that. So it'll never take it away. In fact, it'll probably make me say, hey, you know what? I remember it better over there than I do in this scene. So.
The thing is I might actually be able to watch it since I know it was canceled. The fact that it wasn't before killed my soul.
The line "Welcome to the ouch" is on the same level of "My face is tired."
It also doesn't end there. It's actually "Welcome to the ouch, motherfucker."
Welcome to the ouch, motherfucker.
Yeah,
what is this?
Faye doesn't swear. There's very little swearing in Bebop. It doesn't.
Yeah, but the new Faye
Actual Faye tries to have class.
Yeah. She tries to
play
it
Faye's
off.
a badass bitch, though. That's the thing.
She's a little delicate on the inside, but she has this very strong woman exterior, and she's trying to be in control and take advantage of people. And she realizes, I guess I'm stuck with this crew, and I'll go along with trying to get bounties and making money that way, while still gambling, having a good time.
There's also the fact that she tries to portray herself as extremely girly, but she's not.
Right. Yeah, she tries to go shopping and be feminine, but she ends up roughing up and killing people and shooting people and getting shot at. So kind of hard to be a fashion girl when you're busy rounding up people. So, and she has that weird. Does she get her own space vehicle in the Netflix show?
She had one in the beginning.
Yeah, she
didn't start off with it in Netflix. Whitney gives it to her in Netflix.
Oh God, why?
Interesting background change for Faye. All right.
Faye wasn't even a bounty hunter when they first met her.
Yeah.
In the anime.
She was
running. She was just scamming around in the casino.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Faye's a badass bitch, guys. Come on. She's a badass bitch.
No. She's a femme fatale. It's a very different thing.
I wish.
No, she's a badass bitch, guys.
I wish they actually played up the femme fatale vibe, because once you do that for writing, then you already know what you're going to do with her, and then you could be slightly goofy here. You could be slightly cursing over there, doing whatever you want, because you already have that. Okay, she's going to be the femme fatale actor model of the rest of the story. And then you introduce Julia, and you juxtapose the two, and you go, ooh, now there's another femme fatale. What is that? And then your writing has already had that standard of, oh, I got to watch what both these characters do in the narrative so that we have a nice balance between, a contrast between the two whenever they're on screen or whatever scenes you want to put them together in. That's a great way of contrasting your two attractive female actors and what they can show off with each other, as opposed to just having, Faye swear and shoot people. And Julia.
Not to mention, unlike the rest of the Bebop crew, we never really see Julia outside of her very superficial kind of appearance. We don't see that background to her because that's entirely for Spike to see, no one else.
The same with Vicious. Vicious and Julia were barely in the show, especially Julia, and they have very small scenes, very, very brief moments in the shows that center around them. And we like that mystique. We want them to be busy running an empire or running away from an empire. So
it makes the scenes all the more impactful.
The way they treat Julia is, it almost feels like we're missing a part of the story, and it's done on purpose.
Yeah, this is the problem with not an adaptation in general, but when you take something and say, okay, I want to bring this character up, I want to talk about them more. It's like, this character is in the background for a reason. You can bring them to the foreground, but you'll be very careful. How are you going to do that? And if it's not stylistic, if it's not using a frame narrative, like a flashback, and they're reminiscing, and they play the episode 5, Ballad of Fallen Angels, a little bit different, they give it a twist, then you're not really showing me anything new. You're just like, oh, it's Julia. She's a completely different character now, and she's not the story that we expect. It's something off. And unless it's better, like I say, when you go to a steak house, unless you give me another protein and you season it like a steak or do something new with it, I don't really care. You're
not to mention, if you're going to expand on somebody's story, you have to take into account what is said in the series and don't contradict that.
Yeah, what she represents, how she acts, her look, her walk, her talk, all that stuff, close as possible as you can get. That's why I say, get the actors that look just like the show or whatever source material, have them get the right outfits, get the voice. If the voice is off, hire a voice actor, have them dub the lines in.
Yeah, give them some basic acting exercises.
Get the basics done.
The Valentine actress, she could have used that too.
Yeah, get the visual, audio, get all your groundwork done. Then you say, hey, can we give a slight, spicy vibe in this scene with Faye, where she's smoking a cigarillo or something. It's like, yeah, go crazy. Just a little touch here and there. It's kind of like making a cocktail, Manhattan. There's a recipe. There's a bunch of recipes, all different kinds of Manhattans. But if you want a classic Manhattan, okay, what are you going to do? Try a different bitter. Instead of Angostura, try, I don't know, something from the States, not an Italian bitter. Spice it up. Just a drop, because that's all you need. Once you have all the basics done, you don't start twisting and changing perspectives so far, it's no longer the same thing. And this is what I've been hearing about Faye and Julia, and God, Vicious they just ruined him. That was just a joke half the time. Every time I see a clip, or it's just like, that's not Vicious. This is some crazy Spanish man with white hair. What's going on?
Like I said, this feels like they took a thread on 4chan for someone talking about how bad it would be and just did all that.
All right. Well, here's Jake. We're going to end it with that. Thanks for the 5. You've been fantastic, Jake. It feels strange having my childhood franchises being mostly unscathed. Sucks to be you. Well, I watched this in my college years. What was it? 99? Yeah. So my university years, actually. So it was one of those highlights of Anime Club to watch Bebop and then watch the movie a few years later. So yeah, they'll never go away. I love it so much. So doesn't bother me, but I will eventually have to talk about that on YouTube channel, either in a stream, or I'll just make my own series of videos, just because it's such a big 10 to 11 episodes. Yeah.
I've added another stream meme, Smud.
Oh, you did?
Mhm.
Okay. Let's see if I
I
can.
know, I was bored.
How'd you do that?
How do I do that? I just added it. I don't know.
Oh, you have a phone. I don't know how it works, but okay.
Oh no.
It's a magical phone.
Look at me. I'm the Cowboy Bebop. Oh, the fifth.
Bebop.
Beep boop.
No, you spelled it right.
It's just
Hello.
funky.
Beep up. There we go.
It's a joke.
You know, she does kind of look the part, but if she just had different acting and different...
No.
She looks a part. I feel like she could act.
She looks like a square.
She doesn't look bad. You know, they got a pretty girl. I'm like, that's halfway there for me.
Yeah, her face, but she's a square.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, she just plays annoying, snarky bitch.
Yeah.
Because that's how Netflix seems. Well, that's how writers now seem to think strong, independent women are. Just snarky bitches.
I remember
What horrible.
I said this
fucking-
before. I said this before, actually a few times in other streams. If they just gave it to a Japanese producer, same everything else, just they would have made it a lot different, and I think it would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
I know that sounds, whatever, xenophobic of American producers or whatever.
The odd thing is as much as I know that Cowboy Bebop wasn't actually all that popular in Japan, I still think they probably would have enough respect for it just due to the amount of respect Cowboy Bebop has overseas.
They would have written Faye to be, well, the way she was written in the original one, who was ladylike and somewhat seductive, somewhat tomboy, like a little bit of everything. And that would have been perfect. She doesn't have to have a lot of scenes. She wasn't the focus. She was here and there. Not swearing, not jumping up and down and, I don't know, betting women. It doesn't sound right.
The thing I feel about Faye is probably, out of all of the cast, the only one who's just like a normal person who's putting on a persona that feels like this is a character she saw in a movie.
And she's stuck. She doesn't know what to do. She's lost. She doesn't remember her life. She has this huge debt. And she's like, okay, this is what I got to do to keep going. And I can gamble. And she does gamble throughout the show. She does, go to the races and she still does.
Every time she gets paid, she deposits it in the casino.
Yeah. Alas, I'll have to stop my heavy drinking every day and start watching some Netflix.
I'm gonna add something. I don't remember how long ago, but I think I remember someone saying that like the Bebop crew always fail to get their target. I feel like that's kind of wrong.
Well, they get the
put
target.
The correction out there.
They end up destroying.
We don't see the jobs that go smoothly that they get paid for.
Well,
because those would be boring.
As they
we
talked
see
about
the jobs that they actually do something on.
Yeah, the joke was that the jobs they do is for high ticket items, but to get the high ticket items, they destroy a lot of property to get to it. So they get the reward, but they have to pay off whomever, like shop they shot up or car they destroyed or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, but even in the anime, they were reportedly pretty good at their jobs. It's just that we don't see the jobs that go smoothly on screen.
There was one at the start of it. Was it episode 3 where they start right at the start where Jet has these two guys cuffed and they're trying to process them. And that's about like we never see what happened up to that point, of course. So.
Well, we also see the episode where they're with the what's his name, the one that Chessmaster Hex.
Yeah. We
see that they caught all of these bounties, but because they weren't the head guy, they didn't get the money.
That was the one with Ed, was it? I can't remember.
Yeah, Ed was playing chess with him,
right?
And they gave up the reward and the bribe money just so that they could get Hex left alone.
Right. Oh, good stuff. Tyler Preston, $1. Then we'll finish it. Right now we have a One Piece and a Yu Yu Hakusho Hakusho on Netflix chopping block. I know. I could see a live action Hakusho. Yep, that could work. Working by making it just like Buffy. Ooh, I was not thinking about that.
Not by them. Not by them.
Oh god.
But it's Netflix we're talking about, so it's going to be crap. Well, even if they took their notes from Joss Whedon, I don't think that would work. Hakusho is very heavily inspired by the Japanese culture. It could, but I wouldn't want to modernize it. I don't think that's a good way to go.
I can already see that Kawabara is going to be black. Because he's a ginger.
Oh yeah, exactly. That pompadour. He's just like, yeah,
I didn't even
black
think of that.
pompadour. Man.
He's gonna look
What are
like
they gonna do with
Etika.
Karama?
Kurama, that's perfect because the Japanese dub for Yu Yu Hakusho had a woman as a voice, and a lot of people have confused it as like, is this a girl or not? And now they could like say like, oh, this is gonna be a trans person.
Oh fuck, you're right.
No, they're going to have the old woman. What's her name? The teacher.
Gemma?
Yeah, she's
Genma,
she's going to be in like half the show just because it's an old woman.
Yeah.
She's gonna she's gonna outshine the heroes.
She was
all the
like
time.
more interesting parts of the
Yeah,
show,
but
too.
it would work though because she's pretty much beating the crap out of what's his name? All the
Yeah.
time. So yeah, that could actually work if they do the whole feminist bullshit. Just put it
I
in.
mean, she died during the Dark Tournament arc, and I don't remember. She doesn't come back,
She does come back.
does she? I don't
Yes.
remember her coming back.
Well,
Yeah, she comes back and like she even trains the guys from the Dark Tournament.
yeah, she trains a lot. That would
in
work.
that terrible last arc of Yu Yu Hakusho.
I'm just saying, with that character and because what she did in the story, it would work if they give the female empowerment treatment because she's already awesome. So it's like, all right, yep, go for it. Old lady, master, fine.
Yeah, but still, in the original anime, they didn't have her outshine them too much. There was some restraint to it.
It was a lot of training for the character, so I thought it could work. I don't know. It's been a while, but that is probably the best, the easiest adaptation you could do with mysticism. You could do spirits. You could do all kinds of stuff and get away with it, as opposed to space opera, which is just too complicated, too much budget.
Yeah.
So anyway, thanks guys. That was Weeb Day as always. We're on time. We are on a Monday, which is nice. So thanks. I'll eventually have to watch this show, maybe on a Saturday by myself, because if I watch with anyone else, I'll go crazy. So, but good luck. Thanks guys for tuning in. Thank you to Jake for going crazy with those chats. And all the wonderful commentary. I always like talking about Bebop. It's my favorite anime. And I will eventually have to buck up and watch that crazy adaptation. Sigh.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right. Keep the suggestions coming. Thanks for tuning in. Have yourself a great evening. Bye-bye.